Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. I'm gonna just try to do a fun little quick blitz game. It's gonna be 5 minutes. For a change of pace, also I don't have that much time. That's primarily the reason, and the rating is a bit different. We do, we are 200 points lower than our rapid rating for the moment, but that does correspond with the level, as the rapid rating does have some type of inflation. E4 and I play E5, my recommended system, well, my main repertoire. What I play, bishop C4 opens the bishop. Well, this is the bishop's opening. I recommend knight f6, going after the pawn, and after d3, you can transpose to a normal opening with knight c6. You can also go for c6, d5 ideas. But yeah, we'll see. Queen there, however, is not in the Tyria books, and we just play knight c6. Trying to go for knight d4, but he obviously is preventing that. And what we normally want to do in this sort of situation where the queen is out early, I guess, is to open up. But if you play this takes, obviously we are not winning that trade, so we should hold that for a little bit. We should hold it for a little bit. Instead, we could also play on the queen flank. And yeah, it's actually not so easy to solve this problem. I can already see myself getting into time trouble. And I think the way to go here is actually to go knight a5, going after this bishop, because this bishop is too strong to stay there. And now he controls still, uh, he controls a lot of squares. So I'm really wondering what I'm doing. What am I doing? And my plan now is actually to go for this pawn. So let's play b6 in order for a bishop to go to b7. So we can go after this pawn. And then we play e7 to fortify. And yes, okay, the bishop is looking a little bit passive for the moment, but I think we'll manage this position. All right, the bishop on b7 is a bit misplaced, maybe. Let's castle. We don't have much to do. And okay, the position is not necessarily better or worse for us. He's turning to take a pawn, but he's also losing the pawn on the long term. So let's first um, attend matters. So he cannot take a free pawn here. And now we are targeting this pawn, which he defends, but also weakens this bishop on here. And he still contains this stronghold, which we need to break down. And I think we need to break it down via c65. But let's not be too quick here. Let's not overextend, because if we play this pawn will be weak. That's why I played rook e8 and bishop f8 in order for us to prepare these types of movements, which we will execute right now to open up the position. And I have to say, who's better developed? Who I rather prefer? I actually prefer white here because my queen hasn't sprung off the back rank. So I'm putting it on a 6-7 to, finish my development finally. And now that he has played this again has weakened up. Um, but he obviously wants to open up the FL here. So yeah, I have no clue what's going on. I'm gonna play c5 in order for us to maybe gain this pawn, which we do. Do we take with the bishop, do we take with the knight? Usually we take with the knight, but then the bishop would be misplaced. So I'm actually taking with the bishop, putting the bishop back later, but I'm hoping indeed for him to take, so we have a great knight here in the center of the board. Wow, this pace is actually quite hard to keep up with. So he attacks our knight. It's actually sometimes hard to spot these lateral movements of the queen. What can we do here? I actually didn't even think about this one yet. We don't have a live square bishop to protect it. D5 runs into c takes d5. So I think we just draw back, prevent f6. There's no sexy moves here, unfortunately. And here I'm tempted to just take this pawn and go after this one, but again, wait. Did he just blunder his queen? Yeah, so that's the game, basically. Now we can just sort of play this brainlessly out. But let's stop all counterplay. Let's stop all counterplay. Let's use good technique for us to win. And let's play f6 in order to prevent any g5 intrusions. So place this, going after this pawn. I'm just gonna take a pawn here, targeting this pawn. You know, we can at some point we have to make our own plan, and since we're up a queen, I think we can just simply grab some material with a more active queen, which is more important because after takes, you can take this pawn. So it's not about the material what we just gained, but the more active queen, targeting a lot of squares. He drops back again. We can take this pawn. We can take that pawn. What is better? Well, this is a double pawn. I'm not really afraid of. We already stopped g5, so I'm gonna take this pawn in order for us to create a pass pawn. You know, just trying to execute good technique. I'm expecting rook b1, and now we can take this. Something like that will happen, I think. Or our opponent can just resign. That's would be nice. So do we take with the h or f, or do we do nothing? I think nothing is not really good. I think we should take with the f in order for us to avoid opening up this file. You know, something like that could have happened. And now we just push p. We just push p. So now targeting this. Very logical, very sensible. Let's go here. Targeting the bishop, so the bishop has to take, and we can just push this pawn off the board. Looking good. And even though we're down on time, since we have a much easier, let's just take the pawn, position to play because we are just up so much material. You know, literally, I could play anything in this position. I could take the pawn. I could push the pawn. It's very flexible for me to play. The only thing I have to do is not blunder my pieces. Again, let's push the pawn. Okay, you stop this, but now this rook is very inactive. So we turn one advantage into the other. So now we're attacking this one. You can also just start pushing other pawns. You can also take a pawn, which isn't really necessary. All right, he attacks. So let's give a check first. That makes sense to me. He blocks it. We could just take. We could also fuck around a little bit. So I'm actually tempted to go here since he cannot take, which is kind of funny. But he can just go back and then, you know, let's do this. I like this move. I like this move. It's a very sexy move. Okay, just simply trading down. It's all good to me. No checks. So let's just continue. Opening up the bishop now. Let's just give a check. Let's go here, pinning this dude, also threatening this. Now we're threatening this. And actually, king has some back rank problems as well. So that's crazy. 30 seconds is way more than enough to play this out. Let's just take. Then we go back. Attacking the rook. Maybe there was a mate I missed. Could very much be. And this is mate. Alright, that's a nice game. Also a very short one. Yeah, our opponent um, actually had a very decent position because of these pawns here. Just really taking over the center. So yeah, very decent position for our opponent. Look at this, very stable, very hard to break through. We had to slow play this. But eventually the place where he went wrong was just simply, well, giving up the pawn. I think after this move, maybe he should have considered to defend this again. Maybe the move like queen c3. Although I'm not really sure. After takes, you know, I don't see the way through. Okay, you put this on the same diagonal. Maybe not the best move, right? But yeah. think our opponent really went wrong here when he played. He didn't play the queen away from my attack, you know, and oftentimes these backwards move with knight really look very innocuous, but they are quite dangerous. All right, that's the game. Trying to figure out what the best move here is though for whites, because it's +5. And my best guess, would be to find some counterplay. Because I think he can just take here, maybe. And after knight takes, bishop takes, we have takes here, which is actually pretty decent. I think this is the way to go. At least one of the ways to go here. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.